Good morning and evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another XRP Elliott Wave analysis. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more XRP video updates. Everyone has been killing it, and I thank you very much for that. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about why I am still very bullish for XRP and why I don't see any immediate red flags for a bearish setup until proven otherwise. That could be potentially even retesting the $1 levels, but at this point, I don't even see that happening right now. Now, the biggest question that everyone is asking though is, what is going to be the next big catalyst then? What is going to be pushing up XRP to new all-time highs, potentially even up to the targets that I have set here around $20 to $30? Well, let's take a moment and see where we stand from a sentiment standpoint. Take a look at the trends here. A picture tells 1,000 words. And when you look at this, you may first think that XRP is dead right now, right? And for the most part, I would agree, but context is everything. And when you look at the actual previous peaks, you can see that the 2017 peak in terms of the actual trends actually did mark the top of a bull market. And then the same thing for the 2021 bull market, where we actually peaked as well, a little bit higher on the trends, but it also marked the top of that bull market as well. And now in 2025, we've not only peaked at the maximum 100-point trend value, we've also retraced it pretty much for the most part. But here's the catch, which is that XRP is still trading near all-time highs as the trends have pretty much reset. What does this translate to? It potentially means that people are not selling off their XRP at this current time and stage. Now, can we see this from a price action perspective? Let's dive into the macro wave counts as you see here, then dissect it even further on the shorter time frames. So that massive breakout that we had for that triangle is what made the trends increase to that 100-point value. But the minuscule pullback right now is not only healthy, but this is also something that we have been expecting, so much in fact that I have publicly even announced that I was exercising risk and selling 50% of my bags around the $3 levels. It's all on public record as well if you're following me on social media. But the most important thing is now the follow-up. Now that we had a pretty clear three-wave variation of some sort, most likely as a WXY for this wave 2. I'm not even seeing this as a potential range here just because of all of the fundamentals and Bitcoin's price action showing us a little bit of a different picture as we get more data. We're starting to see that Bitcoin is also becoming far more bullish than we anticipated, maybe working for that final fifth wave sooner than we actually anticipated. So that being said, XRP may be on that same picture, but it's going to be a bit more amplified because XRP is one of those selective narratives that everyone is also anticipating for higher levels at a faster pace. So with that being said, I think after that wave 4 breakout, and we are in the same position as Bitcoin, basically working for that final fifth wave. And right now, this move here was a clear 5-wave move off the lows, and we had that wave 1 of a higher degree being complete. And ever since that January drop that we had, we've been just kind of trying to dissect what kind of corrective move could be playing out, what kind of data could be giving us in terms of whether it's going to be a further deeper correction or a bottom here that we have here. And I think that we have marked a possible bottom and we now have a protected low. So that being said, let's zoom in and talk about the more detailed wave counts and why I think this is much more bullish than we anticipated. And as you can see here, we do have that potential setup that could be finally giving us that window of opportunity that we're going to be working for higher levels sooner than later. So as you can see here, the same idea here is being applied. We have great symmetry and overall geometry being bet here. We had a WXY to the downside. This marked the higher degree wave 2 of that larger fifth wave that you just saw. And this here, very interesting enough, XRP is also one of the few coins that actually observe these obscure diagonals creating these wave 1s. We've seen it time after time, even on the highest degrees, that there are possibilities of creating these wave 1s as a leading expanding diagonal. And we have a very similar setup here as well. All the rules and guidelines are met, but of course, this wave 1 being long, a lot of people are going to find that a little bit subjective, but we have seen it in the past where this has been leading up to a possible wave 1 because the context here is showing that the follow-up is a WXY structure as well. So as you can see here, we had that wave 1. We've also been talking about in the previous videos that we were expecting some kind of pullback into the golden Fibonacci level, and lo and behold, we hit that 61.8% level, and we got a very strong reaction off of that. Now, can we go a little bit lower even on the more micro time frames? Absolutely. We can even potentially look for another 1-2 pullback here. If it breaks below this, we're going to have to recount this and extend this wave 2, possibly as a different type of ABC structure for this WXY as a wave Y requires an ABC to the downside. But for now, because we had such a strong impulse off the lows, just like for Bitcoin, this is showing a pretty strong case that we actually may be bottomed even on the micro time frames. And this may be finally that window of opportunity and looking for a confirmation of an impulse to the upside on the smaller time frames that's going to be eventually building up for this intermediate degree wave 3, eventually 4 and 5 respectively for this larger wave 1 that we're looking for. This here, ladies and gentlemen, is all just what's creating what is known as a nesting 1-2 structure. So as you can see, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leads up into that primary degree wave 1. We're going to have another multi-month pullback, wave 2. Boom, wave 3, 4, 5. That is eventually going to be creating that larger picture that we have been talking about for that macro fifth wave, just like for Bitcoin. And this is why everything is aligning here, ladies and gentlemen. I say this over and over, but all the stars are aligning as well. Not only fundamentally, we're also seeing some geopolitical issues being resolved and ironed out. We're also seeing the price action play out just as we want it to be, because we didn't have any capitulation, especially with those geopolitical issues for Bitcoin. We never saw a huge drawdown because of that issue alone. And usually when we do see those kinds of issues arise, especially that big of a caliber, usually you'll see a capitulation happening. But we didn't even get that. We got a very slow and controlled pullback that's giving us that sign that markets are still very resilient to whatever is happening fundamentally. So I think that with that window of opportunity in mind, I think that we may still be working for that wave 3 to the upside. So I'm going to end it here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. This is why I'm still keeping my targets of a healthy target, that is, of around $10, and then maybe potentially, if we get a wave 4 retracement, show us a possibility of reaching even the $20 to $30, $40 regions. Thank you very much. I will see you guys in the next video, and please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are interested in joining the Discord membership or Patreon membership, the links are in the description below. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Bye-bye.